What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We got another nice night of NBA. We got a 6-game slate that hopefully, or a 5-game slate, my bad, that hopefully ends up being good to us. I'm taking a look at our free picks from yesterday. I gave you guys 2 slips for free. One of them cashed, and one of them ended up missing. So let's talk about these 2. So the one that cashed is right here. Let's pull this up really quickly. We had our man Vucevic, Jimmy Butler, and Trae Young. So Butler and Vucevic were obviously 2 of the free picks. I told you guys I like to Vooch for anything. Vooch had a killer game last night. You could have took points. You could have took rebounds. You could have took points and rebounds. You could have took PRA. You could have took any line for Vooch, and he was going to cash. So felt good about that one. Took Jimmy Butler over 17.5 points as well. Obviously, we bought Vooch down in this slip and then paired it with Trae Young, low assist line, just to get a little, almost a double up. So profited about $200 on that one. And then second slip of the day that I gave was this one right here, if it'll load. So, come on. If I start having internet issues as soon as I start this video, your boy's going to be a little bit tilted. But anyways, before I do anything else, I'll wait for that to load. I am going to pick a winner from yesterday's video to win a free month of VIP. So if you guys are new to the channel, if this video gets 250 likes, I'll pick a random comment down below to win a free month. So smash the like button, drop a comment. You got to be subscribed to win, so make sure you guys are subbed. And dude, look at this. I don't know, man. Not much I can do here. But I'm going to pick a winner from yesterday. So the winner from yesterday's video is going to be for, drum roll please, D-Mac 1017, who said win green. Well, D-Mac, hope you had a great day, man. Hope you had some cash slips. Send me a message on Discord. I'll get you added for a free month of VIP. And before you guys skip through anything, I know a lot of people watch this and they skip to the props. I have a huge announcement. Every single person watching this video can win or can get a free month of VIP and $58 for free. So let me go ahead and explain to you guys. So first of all, if you're not in our WAP link's down in the description, and I'm going to click the WAP just to show you guys. So WAP, you can get all of our plays, whatever. If you're in a WAP, I made a post last night. You click Open Fantasy Aces, my WAP will come up right here. So if you click Aces Free Picks, which I have on WAP, you're going to see something here that says, this is not a joke. Watch this video, you get a free $58 and free VIP. So I'm going to kind of explain what I'm talking about in this video. So we are partnered with a platform called Thunderpick. Thunderpick is kind of a sports book. I can't show links on YouTube, or the YouTube video will get taken down. So you guys need to join the Discord if you want to take advantage of this. If you sign up for Thunderpick, all you have to, I'm talking about all you have to do is sign up. I will give anyone who signs up and makes a $25 deposit or less, their $25 or more, $25 or more, I'll give you your $25 back and a free month of VIP. I've already sent like 30 people $25 yesterday. This is going to be going on for the rest of the month for sure. I might extend it into November a little bit, maybe not. So I'm just throwing it out there. They're running a short promo right now to where they're boosting things for us, so I'm able to give back to the community. So if you guys want, you get a free $58, and watch this video if you haven't. There's one in the Discord as well. So if you're in the Discord, you can see it. But it's like a 2-minute video. I explain exactly how to do it. You have to use our link, and if you want a deposit match on here, then you just go into the bonuses, activate the deposit match, and then they'll double your first deposit, which ends up being like $58 that goes in there. So you get $58 free VIP. I send your money back. It's a no-brainer. I'm telling you guys, take advantage of it. Once you send me a message on Discord, I can send it PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, whatever. But anyways, second slip we had for free yesterday, Kessler and Aaron Gordon. Kessler cashed in the first quarter. That was the freest assist line ever. And then Aaron Gordon had 7 points in the first 6 minutes and then chalked. Ended with 9. Don't know how that happens, man. Stupid. It pissed me off, but it is what it is. It happens. So let's go ahead and jump into some free picks, guys. Let's talk about these games. I'm actually going to give you guys a free slip as well for this, for money lines, one of my favorite money lines on the board that we'll talk about. But let's take a look at these games, guys. So we got Philly taking on the Wizards. Obviously, Sixers or 76ers right now are 3-0. Coming off a dub last night. So they aren't a back-to-back playing in Washington versus the Wizards. Right now, the Wizards are plus 4.5 on the spread, plus 170 underdogs, and the total sitting at 237.5. This is probably going to be a very good game to target for player props. If you're looking for a game to target, it's going to be pretty high score, most likely. Projected for 238 like we see here. 71% of the money's on Philly, 55% of the money on Washington to cover the spread, and then 55% of the money on the over on this total. Now, yesterday, Philly played versus the Magic. A hard-fought win, 136-124. Wizards on a couple days rest. Went against Charlotte. Charlotte, their last game, got blown out versus the Hornets. So Wizards don't look tough again, man. Wizards struggling once again. I personally think the Sixers win on a back-to-back. Just my opinion. I think the majority of the public is on that as well. I think they do win. I think not going to say the Wizards can't get a dub, but I just don't see anybody on the Wizards team that I look at and I'm like, dang, they got a star player here. C.J. McCollum. Like, I thought C.J. McCollum was going to come out here and have some bomb games playing for the Wizards because they don't have anybody. And he's even looked pretty rough, man. So I got to roll with the Sixers on this one. Not much to really talk about. I think there's some good player props we can get in here. But Maxey, I think CJ has a good game. We'll see. Maybe he doesn't. But anyways, I think there's some options there. Next game we have is going to be the Hornets versus the Miami Heat. We got the Heat minus 200 favorites at home. Miami minus 5.5 on the spread, and the total sitting at 241. An extremely high total. This is a very good game for player props, in my opinion, on both sides of the ball. I think this game does stay pretty competitive. Right now, it's a 50-50 split on money lines, and then it's a 69% of the money on Miami covering a 6-point spread. 81% going on the total on this. If you look at these teams, neither team played yesterday, so they're both on a couple of days rest. Miami coming off a 2-win streak versus Memphis and versus the Knicks. So Miami looking strong. Barely lost to Orlando in the first game. This is without Hero, man. So you got to remember they're missing Tyler Hero, one of their better players. Looking at the Hornets, Hornets just beat the Wizards in a blowout win. Lost to the Sixers the game before that in a very close loss, and then they beat the Nets in the first game. So to be honest with you, Charlotte hasn't looked that bad so far this season either. LaMelo's been stepping it up. A lot of these other players stepping it up. So I think this game stays competitive. I think it's a great game for props. This is not the game that I'm picking, though, for my money lines. This is where things get good for me in terms of money lines. So we got the Knicks taking on the Bucks. Bucks plus 110 odds right now, plus 1.5 on the spread, and then the total sitting at 229.5. 63% of the money is on New York Knicks money line, 77% on them covering the spread, and then 70% of the money on the under on this game. In my opinion on this game, and take a look at these two teams, by the way. So I don't think either team's on a back-to-back. Neither team on a back-to-back. Bucks just lost to Cleveland, and then Knicks just lost to Miami. So both teams are 2-1, both coming off of an L. For me, man, I saw the Bucks. It's pretty much Giannis and friends, and I thought that the Bucks were going to have a very, very hard season. They've looked pretty good. They barely lost to Cleveland last game. They beat Toronto, and they beat Washington, which, I mean, I thought they would beat Washington anyway. But Knicks, on the other hand, Knicks have looked great too, man. They beat Cleveland in game 1. They beat Boston in game 2, which, I mean, the Celtics without Tatum aren't as strong, obviously, but they're still not a bad team. And then they just lost to Miami. For me, man, this game is all the Knicks. Like, I don't think that this is I don't think the Bucks can't win here or anything. I think there's definitely potential, especially if somehow Cat ends up sitting. I think Towns is going to play. I think we're good here. McBride's a game-time decision, obviously. On the Bucks side of things, they got Kuzma and Cole Anthony, who are game-time decision. Porter's out. I'm leaning Knicks on this one. I'm trusting it. So up on the screen, you're going to see my slip. I put $100 on the Knicks on Thunder Pick. If you guys want to rock with it, $100 wins us 180. Not a bad play, in my opinion. Almost a double up on that slip. And like the Knicks on the road today. If you want to take them at plus money, you can get it on Novig, plus money for them covering a 1.5-point spread. I think the Knicks win by 2. I'd take that. Plus money, plus 100. I think that's pretty good odds, and I'm willing to take a risk there as well if you guys want to do that instead. Looking at the next game, we have the Kings taking on the Thunder. OKC minus 400 favorites, minus 10.5 spread, 227.5 total. Majority of the money is on OKC. That's 60% of the money on Kings covering the spread, and then 57% of the money on the over on this total. Not a whole lot to talk about. OKC 4-0. Kings are 1-2. Kings have struggled a little bit. Sabonis getting in foul trouble his last game. Sabonis is one of those guys, man. He's a really good player, but he does get himself into some trouble sometimes. Think OKC wins this game outright. I'm not going to play any bets on like money line or anything like that. I don't trust a 10.5-point spread because I think the Kings could keep this close. But OKC at home is hard not to take them. Next game, Clippers versus Warriors. Golden State plus 122 underdogs on a back-to-back, plus 2.5 on the spread, plus 225 for the total. 54% of the money on Golden State to win outright, 73% of the money on Clippers to cover 2.5 spread, and then 77% of the money on the under on this total. So this game, man, I got to roll with the Clippers for a win just because Golden State's on the back-to-back. Their last back-to-back was versus Portland. They got blown out versus Portland on their last back-to-back. So they played Denver, next day went to Portland, lost to Portland. So played versus Memphis, at home tonight, so I'm expecting them to be a little bit better than they were versus Portland. I definitely think that this game stays semi-competitive. I think it might be pretty decent for some props, but overall, man, in terms of winning, I'm probably going to take the Clippers, and the Clippers have not looked that good so far. They got blown out by the Jazz in game 1, so barely beat Portland in the last game, so Clippers haven't looked super strong, not the team I expected them to be, but I do think that they do come out here and get a dub versus Golden State on a back-to-back, and we'll see, man. I think this game is competitive and could go either way. But that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump into some of our player props of the day. So, player prop number one that I'm going to be locking in, and we'll be locking in 2 slips live in case you guys were wondering, but it's going to be for our man LaMelo Ball. So I'm taking Ball, I'm taking his RA, so rebounds and assists. So LaMelo is one of those players, and if you've been betting on the NBA a lot or for a long period of time, you'll understand. So for me, LaMelo's line at the beginning of the season is always like 12.5. It always bumps up to like 14.5, 13.5, 15.5. I think last year it got up to like 16 at one point. LaMelo is a very good player and can get a lot of rebounds and a lot of assists. He can end up, like you can see last game, he had 20 RA versus Washington. Now, this is versus the Wizards. They're not playing the Wizards tonight. They're playing against Miami. Miami's defense is a lot better. You can see they're middle of the pack in both categories. You go to point guard and shooting guard. Stays middle of the pack, gets a little bit better versus big men. But overall, man, they do give up a decent amount of stats to the point guard position. Our man LaMelo, I believe, is going to give us 14 RA. So if you want to take his RA at 13.5, I like this line a lot. Head-to-head last season, he had a 100% hit rate versus Miami. So 15, 17, 16, and 14. This game he barely went over. He averaged 15.5 rebounds and assists. I think this is a big game for him. Their lineup is fully healthy. So Brandon Miller's actually out. Okay, so Miller is out, so that's going to take away a little bit of assist opportunities. Josh Green is out still. Obviously, Trey Mann's a game-time decision. On the other side of things, Fontecchio is out, or game-time decision. Hero's out, and then Terry Rozier obviously might be behind bars right now. But anyways, like LaMelo for this. He's cashed it 2 straight games this season. He's been looking like a good facilitator, and I like him, man. I'm a Ball fan, especially being a Hornets fan. I do like LaMelo. So, got to lock him in for 13.5 points or 13.5 rebounds and assists. I don't dislike his PRA either if you wanted to run PRA, and not sure why Draymond is selected there. Okay. But let's go ahead and pull LaMelo up real quick. So, Ball, rebounds and assists, 13.5 should be available, and it's 14.5 is all you can get on parlay play. So, I will not be taking this. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up a slip for you guys so you guys can see that I ran this on Prizepicks. So, I put $100 on this to win $300. On Prizepicks if this slip will load. So we're going to... All right, so we're going to do this the old-fashioned way. I'm going to drag my Discord over here. So now on the screen you can see LaMelo Ball, Norman Powell. I put $100 on this to win $300. This was locked in at 1:57 a.m. this morning. Now, if you're in the Discord, obviously you get plays earlier. One thing right here is LaMelo's 13.5, so it's maybe a point higher all day. Now, I don't know if it comes back down or not. I'm assuming a lot of platforms will give you the option to bump it back down to 13.5 or maybe a little bit of a lower payout. But let's take a look here at LaMelo. So rebounds and assists. I'm just going to type in LaMelo. It's probably going to be 14.5. So, all right, 15.5 to 11.5. Or is my internet just not loading the other 2 numbers? Because I click it twice here and it doesn't change. Anyways, if you want to take LaMelo at 14.5, you're fine to do that. I'm not touching 14.5. I'm going to be honest with you. That extra bump, I don't like it. I'm not going to take a bump when I got the regular payout already. So I was going to lock it in live for you guys on here. I'm not locking it in live with LaMelo at 14.5. I'm just not gonna do that. I don't think it's worth it in my opinion. So I'm assuming you can still get it on Prizepicks. That number, I think my internet just sucks. I'm gonna be honest with you. So if you can't, wait for 14.5. Anything under than wait for 13.5. Anything 13.5 or under, I like a lot. I'm sure there's gonna be a platform that has it. If you want to play it there, 14.5, I would fade. You can risk it if you want for like a straight bet on plus money or something like that. But overall, for a player prop line, putting it in a parlay, I probably wouldn't touch the 14.5. Just my personal opinion. But 13.5, like it a lot. That's what I got for pick 1. And you guys saw pick number 2 already. I like Norman Powell in this. Norman Powell has looked good this season. Without Tyler Hero and without Terry Rozier, he's stepping it up. And you can see, you saw in the slip I took his fantasy score. So his fantasy score this season so far, he's cashed 2 of 3 games. He's averaging 42 fantasy per game. Dude's getting 3 steals and blocks per game right now, or he's getting at least 2. We can come over here to blocks and steals, which, if you don't know, in NBA, a block and a steal is 3 fantasy points. So if he gets 1 block, 1 steal, that's 6 points already, which brings him to 25 is all you would need. So that's all I'm going to say for that is PRA is 28.5. If you want to take PRA, I don't dislike it. He soared over this line as well, head-to-head. He had it 1 of 2 games last season as well. It's a good matchup versus Charlotte. Charlotte gives up a lot of stats. The thing about that is if he gets a lot of blocks and steals, which he's had 2 at least in every single game this season. He had 3 his last game versus the Knicks, 3 steals. So that's 9 fantasy right there, which makes his PRA has to be a lot lower to get that line. So I like fantasy score on this at 31. You saw me lock it in. If you want to play on a sports book and you don't have the option for this, points or PRA are my 2 favorites. I like points at 22.5. If you want to play his original line, you can buy it down slightly. I like it a lot at 19.5. I think he gives us 20 points. He had 27 and 7 his last 2 games versus Charlotte. The other game they ended up being a blowout win, and he ended up cashing. Obviously played for the Clippers last year. But anyways, this season so far, he had 29 points versus the Knicks, 28 points versus the Magic, 2 strong defensive teams. And I think he has another good game tonight. Looking at points allowed, or we'll just do PRA. Looking at PRA defense for Charlotte, 16th, 23rd, and 16th in terms of points allowed. If you go to the guard position, it goes up to the green. Shooting guard's a little bit better, but point guard, they give up a lot of stats. So overall, Norman Powell, I like on this matchup. I'll go ahead and lock it in live for you guys once again. I like this enough to play it twice, just for the video. Fantasy, 31. It is locked in, and you can see how it's scored. So 1 point is 1, a rebound is 1.2, an assist is 1.5, steals and blocks, and a turnover is -1. But like that slip a lot, or like that play a lot for Norman Powell, and going to be locking him in. Since I can't get LaMelo, we'll lock in Norman Powell with a boost. So let's find a boost we like. Giannis 44.5 is probably a good play. You got Sabonis at 24.5 points and rebounds. Curry 3.5 threes. Now I'm gonna tell you guys something. I have Sabonis already as a free pick. I don't want to play 2 slips with Sabonis unless I make the points and rebounds the free pick. I was going to take Sabonis at 29.5 PRA, which is it's the same payout if this is boosted. Points and rebounds is probably even better. So we'll go ahead and talk about pick 3. I had him as Sabonis. Now they're playing a tough matchup tonight versus OKC. Sabonis is going to have to step it up. If he gets into foul trouble again, we might be in some trouble on this prop for real, because you know how good the defense for OKC is. You can see their defense is 3rd, 20th, and 4th in terms of points, rebounds, and assists. Go to center, it's 3rd, 13th, and 4th. Very good defense. Head-to-head, Sabonis went under 2 of his last 3 games versus OKC. And then if you look at him this season, he's been under both games already. But he's also had 3 fouls in game 1 and then 5 fouls in game 2. And his minutes have been a little bit lower, or I think he has over 30 minutes a game. Yeah, 36 and then 30. That game was a little bit lower versus the Lakers because he was in foul trouble. But 2024 season, he cashed his line 86% of games. You can see the first 2/3 of the season, the dude didn't go under 1 time, 30 PRA. So obviously we know how good Sabonis is. I'm expecting a good game from him tonight versus OKC, where he's going to be needed. And I had 29.5 PRA selected already as the prop. Now, points and rebounds at 24.5 might be even better. He's hooked this line both games this season. He cashed it 1 of 3 games last season again, and then he cashed this 86% of games last season too. His assist line right now is sitting at 4.5. It's very close. Both props are nice. He did go over assists last game, 2 of 3 versus OKC. So PRA might be the better play here. 24.5 points and rebounds is a good one as well. Both of these will give us a double up. So let's see what we can do. PRA right now, 29.5, gives us a 2.56. I mean, it's going to be the same prop. We just got to figure out which one we like better. So, the assist line, man, I just don't see Sabonis getting 7 assists this game. Looking at their lineup, like, I mean, they have Levine, they have DeRozan. Yeah, he's got some options. Schroeder. Maybe he does get 7 assists. Sabonis is an assist machine sometimes. He averaged how many assists last season? Let's take a look at that, too, as we do this. So he averaged 6 assists last game. OKC averaged 5. So he can get a lot of assists. Some of these games getting double-digit assists. We know Sabonis can get triple-doubles at any point in time. He really can. OKC, though, that defense, man, I'm going to roll with the PRA. I'm going to trust it because I had PRA as my free pick before I even saw this boost at 29.5. And if I don't run this and it cashes and then this misses and I locked it in live, I'm gonna be sick to my stomach. So we're just gonna run this. I'm gonna put 250 on it to win 640. We're gonna place the bet. It is right there live. I'll come over here to track pick so we can see it. We got Norman Powell fantasy with Sabonis 29.5 PRA. You can mix that up and run Norman Powell with like PRA or points or something, and then run that Sabonis points and rebounds if you want a parlay play. Code Fantasy Aces on parlay play gets you a free month of VIP. You can do that with any of the apps down in the description. Sign up using our code, make the minimum deposit, including Thunderpick now, and I'll get you guys added for a free month, but up to 7 full months for free. But that's our first slip. Second slip of the day we had, or the last pick of the day we had, is going to be for our man Draymond Green. So you guys saw it already. I like Draymond's assists. Draymond Green right now, his assist line is sitting at 5.5. I'm buying it to 4.5. He's cashed it 8 of his last 10. He cashed it every game so far this season. He's been an assist machine, averaging 8 assists per game. When Curry is playing, Draymond can rack up assists. This is a game where Draymond's going to be needed. Like I said, I hope this is a close game. I hope it's not a blowout loss for the Warriors. I say that with a grain of salt. Like, I don't think the Warriors are so bad they get blown out by the Clippers because they're on a back-to-back. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they got blown out versus Portland. And Portland's not as good as the Clippers, in my opinion. And, I guess there could be some argument there because the Clippers haven't looked that great so far this season. But I still think the Clippers are a good talented team. And I'm just hoping that Golden State keeps this game at least close. If Golden State wins, I don't care. Like, that's fine. I like Golden State, so it's not a big deal to me. I'm just saying, like, I hope this game stays close for the props' sakes. Head-to-head, he cashed this one of his 3 games versus the Clippers last season, and then he cashed this 63% of games of overall last season. Clippers give up 9th in the league in terms of assists. If you go to power forward, they give up middle of the pack, so they give up more assists to the power forward than usual. His potential assists are sitting at 6 or 10 per game right now. There's not available for the last game yesterday, where he had 10 assists. But Draymond, he's good for it, man. And I like 5 assists for him in this one. I think it's a good play. So, Draymond, you can play these on Prizepicks. Let me go ahead and give you another disclaimer. Prizepicks and parlay play have the same props usually. Usually, parlay play takes from Prizepicks and changes the value and makes it a little bit better. That's usually what happens. Sometimes that's not the case, but they all have the same lines for the most part. You can play anything I play in parlay play on Prizepicks and vice versa. So we got, 4.5 assists is what we ran with. It's a 1.35x. We'll play this with a boost for NBA. So we got our man VJ, 20 points. He's probably good for it, but that's still a lot. We got Giannis. We can take Giannis 44.5 PRA, or we could run with our man Sabonis. We'll take Giannis on this one. Giannis is a pretty good boost. I'm trying to be more selective with my boosts than usual. So Giannis PRA, we already know Giannis can drop 70 PRA any given game. He really can. The dude's a beast. He doesn't have much help on this team either. He's cashed it every game this season, averaging 59 PRA. Head-to-head, he cashed it 1 of 3 last season versus the Knicks. I think the Knicks win this game, but I think Giannis has a good game as well. So I got to lock in Giannis at 44.5. We'll put 250 on this. Get us a dub, hopefully, to win us 472. And here we go, guys. That's what we got for today. So 500 entries, possible payouts 1,100, more than double our money if we cash these 2 slips. Hoping we have a good day today. Splitting our slips yesterday sucks. Hitting one and missing the other, on a tough L is rough. But that's what I got for today, guys. Hopefully we have a great day. Once again, sign up for that Thunder Pick, get that free $25. I appreciate every single one of you. If you need help, all the information is in the Discord. That's the best way to come and get in touch with me as well if you need help from me in the Discord. We'd love to have you guys in there. Discord's free to join with the link down in the description. And I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video.